preferred dividends are equal to the dividend rate multiplied by the par value of the of the preferred stock. And remember, preferred stocks will not have maturity value. Unlike the bonds, they will not have maturity value. They cannot call this maturity value as we said in case of the bonds. Reason is basically now this about what they share with this feature. If you look at this part, this is what they share with debt or debt security like bonds. Other features of this security are they align with they are similar to the characteristics of the common stock. So what are they? First of all, preferred stock has infinite life. So technically, you can think of preferred stock as perpetuity. We can say basically they are perpetuities. And what do you perpetuity? What is that?
State dividend, you sell them.
The
state dividend, you sell them.
You can do the same for the bonds, right? But we don't call them perpetuity. We don't call common stock perpetuity because you can sell them with the common stock shares whenever you want, right? Okay, guys, online, what is perpetuity? If anybody is hearing there. Perpetuity means what?
Means like they will stay, you cannot get rid of them or something. Maybe they will stay like forever. You cannot sell them or something.
But that will not make them perpetuity. Suppose common stock will stay there forever also, right? But we don't call them perpetuity, but we call the preferred stock perpetuity. There's a unique characteristic of the perpetuities. That's for the common stock also, Amrita. Technology. Search online and find it out. Okay, good. Yes, yes. No, yes, no, it's honest what? Yes. Constant payments, right? Yeah. Or the receipts. Yes. Constant or yes, basically. No, basically it is a modification of annuity, right? The similar gone back in the class also. We say annuity is a series of cash flows, a series of equal cash flows, which can be a series of payments. Occurring at equal intervals, such important conditions. Equal payment, equal intervals, right? Suppose every month, every year, every 6, every quarter. The interval has to be the same. And here also we have similar condition. Here, remember, as I said, the preferred dividends are going to be constant, stable, one. Dividend rate does not change here. Only one rate over the life of the preferred stock. And always they are going to pay the dividends or expect to pay dividends suppose every year or at the same intervals. And whenever an annuity goes into infinity, same thing, equal payments at equal intervals, but going into infinite time, that is called perpetuity. Okay. And if you can recall, when we talk about, say, the time value of money, that time, when you had to find the present value of a perpetuity, how do you find that? That is cash flow divided by the discount rate, right? This is basically or you can say this thing as the payment, the cash flow is fine. This is present value of a perpetuity. The same formula we use for finding the value of the preferred stock at any point of time. So Again, here we say they are perpetuities. Say common stock is not the perpetuity, but the life, infinite life. This characteristic they share with the common stock. Common stock is also infinite. So are these ones. And sometimes, actually in many cases, the preferred stock holders, they will have voting rights. Not always, but sometimes. Maybe majority, they have voting rights. And common stock holders by default have voting rights. They also have voting rights. And one more thing, suppose if we add one more thing here, suppose in case of default, I will not, they cannot default on this one. In case of non-payment of the dividends, the issuing company or the preferred stockholder, sorry, issuer does not default. It's different from the common stock, sorry, from the bonds. If a company fails to make the payments on the bonds, right, suppose they miss or they are not able to pay the interest or the coupon payments, the default. But even this one, suppose here in this case, we know that the company has promised to pay the dividends every year, right? Suppose in a particular year, they are not able to pay the dividends as promised. We cannot be able to default. And there are two types of preferred stock. One is called cumulative and non-cumulative. Cumulative is the one where your missed preferred stock dividend will be paid next time. It goes into areas. Non-cumulative means if you miss the payment, that is gone for you. You are never going to recover again. All right. So those things are not required at this point. Let's put this thing here. These are the features the preferred stock shares with the equity or the common stock, and in the feature they share with the debt. That's how you call them hybrid securities. They share the characteristics of the common stock and debt or the bonds. Make sense? Any questions here?
What happened? There are redeemable first also.
Yes. Redeemable means which we can end. That's why I said most are infinite. I did
Any case eventually. Why do you think that balls?
see, basically redeemable. See, first of all, it's a very good question. It's for you also. The question raised by Akash is, if they are redeemable, then why don't they go for the bonds and they go for the preferred stock? And usually the cost of preferred stock will be more than the cost of bonds. You can look at this feature here, correct? You are committed in case of bonds, right? Because sometimes you may miss the payment, right? For whatever reasons. Then what? In this case, or not default, right? You cannot end with liquidation. But in case of the companies, if you issue a bond with the coupon payment, then you are going to have problem in future. That's one reason. That's why you will see the companies which are at the growth stage, or the companies which are more like having more volatility in their returns, they will prefer to go for preferred stock than the bonds. Redeemable, or as I said earlier, the preferred stock, mostly they are perpetuities. Redeemable is more like they want to keep an option that whenever it is possible for the company to say kind of end the preferred stocks and make them redeemable. It's more like an option on the preferred stock, right? So that's different. That's the reason why companies say go for the preferred stock rather than the common stock. Main reason is in case they do not make the payments a promise as promised on the preferred stock, the company is not going to have any kind of financial or legal problems, which they will have in case they have the bonds outstanding. Amrita, what are you thinking? Any questions? All right, how do you find the cost of preferred stock? As I told you earlier, the value of preferred stock simply is the dividend payment divided by the cost of preferred stock, right? They flip that thing. You can see here. First of all, yeah. Okay, let's see here again a little bit about what they have. Most preferred stock, most in always say, have a stated order. It's more like state order means suppose when they issue at par value and then they have Q value, you know what's what, how much you are going to receive. Or it can be as the percentage of given the annual percentage. As I showed you preferred dividends, and then we use that for the par value or the face value to find the annual dividends. And here is the cost of preferred stock simply is the ratio of the preferred stock dividend to the firms that proceeds from the sale of preferred stock. Suppose if you assume for the time being about this net proceeds, you know this one. Say, as I told you earlier, the price of preferred dividend is equal to the preferred dividends divided by the cost of preferred dividend. Suppose think this way, at any point of time, suppose right now there is a preferred stock outstanding, and we would like to see what should be its worth or value. What we see, what is the, remember this here, RD is not the dividend rate. It is the existing market interest rate of return that will apply to the preferred dividends. Right? Nothing otherwise also, when I said, when we talk about this rate here, this is, remember, this is the current market rate of return that should be applicable to this preferred stock. That is basically the existing cost of preferred stock. You see here, or P is equal to R divided N minus P0. Remember this NP is that proceeds more like the price at which you can sell it minus the flotation cost. That proceeds is what? The price at which you can sell it minus flotation cost, the way we did for the bonds. Right? So current price, assuming there is zero flotation cost, then you can find the cost of preferred stock simply by dividing the dividends by the existing market price. All right. You can again think of this cost of preferred stock as the dividend rate. No, not this one. This will be the dividend rate that the company will have to pay if they want to sell the preferred stock right now. Like the bonds, yield to maturity, right? Whenever you talk about the cost of debt, it is as of the existing applicable rate of returns in the form of interest or other kind of here. This will be the rate of return. For the dividend rate, they will have to pay on the new law, new issue of the preferred stock as of now. That's why we use net proceeds, not the price. You might ask why, if a company is not, suppose we want to find the cost of preferred stock for a company, which is not going to sell the preferred stock right now. So why are we doing this thing? Assumption here is, remember, assumption is whenever you talk about the cost of capital, it is relevant to if you want to go for a new issue right now. See. Hello. Yes. Good evening. जी मेरी क्लास चल रही है 218 में श्योर श्योर हाँ yes no I have to make I have to put in class this now say 4 sessions. I also started the day also yes 45 hours, but that will be around 30 sessions, not 40 sessions. Huh? If you get a session, you know, 1 hour for 30 minutes, very much. Total, sessions. It's 45. Maybe it is hours 45.
So normally we have sessions at for 1.5 hours or 3 hours. If it is say 3 hours, then we have 15 sessions. If it is 1.5 hours, then we have 30 sessions. So आपका ये 15 sessions. Need 45 hours. With 36 payment only. तो मेरे से मैं अभी करना पड़ेगा सामने कैश we have one study student classes हाँ अरे वीकेंड के पास में क्या ऑनलाइन करा के पास slides and second thing we can something we can not very question maybe make of school here or 6 o'clock of the online class English not get it school on the class board yeah so start in the Normally, the fund base practitioner is something we actually have such problem but the shadow really that's the loss to you guys you question it on they are doing videos yeah Seventeen assumptions. Yeah. Okay. Sorry. Same class problems. We make up for the classes. All right. Any questions here? Nothing, right? Let's take an example here. Can you solve this problem? Okay, I will wait for it. The guy is online. Problem is on your screen, so please try to do it. You have 3 minutes, right? That's more than enough. Same like this calculation is here. Oh, so the solution also, right? Thanks for that. I can do something about it. Wait a minute. Huh? Anyway, okay, so okay, do whatever you want. Yeah. So okay, let's create a problem. It is done here, right? So what's the point? Let me make a problem here. All right, let's say here, company X has an issue of preferred stock outstanding. The par value per share is $100 and the dividend rate is say 11%. Make it 12%. The preferred stock is currently selling at $107 per share. All right. So if the flotation cost of new issue is $1.5 per share, what is the cost of preferred stock or company X.
Now it is good, right? Now take 3 minutes and do the problem. Okay, 5 minutes. $100, yes.
Always on the side.
So what did you get? 1.06. Not correct. False. What did you get? 1,088, right? As a team, okay, what do you do as a team? Actually, that's a better, you're saving that. Wow, that's interesting. 106.88. Because it's like 6%.
Yes.
106% is the cost, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, also, right? So it's 106%, right? Not 1.06.
Yes.
1.6%.
Yes, sir.
Wow, that is a real jackpot.
That's true.
As dividend, right? You pay 100, you get 1.6 as dividends. Think over it. Hello, guys online. Anyone there?
Yes, doctor, but I didn't finish. I couldn't understand like the
Question is
to
very
do.
simple, Ahmed. If you have a problem here, right? We have preferred stock with par value of 100, dividend rate of 12%. And they currently selling for trading $407 per share. And if the flotation cost of new issue is $1.5, you have to find the cost of preferred stock for this company. Okay, someone else there?
So is it like 100 plus 1.5 would give us the net
100 plus
proceedings?
1.5, no.
Then no, I mean the net proceedings. Then you divide 12% by the net proceedings, no?
No, you do the dividends divided by the net proceeds, yeah, but you have to be more careful about how you get it, right?
Yeah.
No one? Okay, take your time. Take 1 minute and 10 seconds, no problem. Okay, besides Ahmed, anyone online would like to solve this problem? Come on, it's a very simple problem. Who, me? No.
Share value is not. What's the value? That proceedings which are setting the store. They will pay out. 1%, that is.
It's not payout, it's dividend rate, not payout, some different one.
Pay.
Dividend payout is dividend divided by the price at which you buy it. All right. Give up? Very bad. See, I will show how simple it is. If you can recall, I told you here, it's net proceeds or equal to price minus production cost, right? Okay, so if you have to solve this problem, I will erase this thing here. Okay, let's start first to first. Par value equal to how much? $100, right? Dividend rate equal to. So what are the for dividends? Right, so dividend we got all of it, right? Our denominator now. What is the current price? Rotation cost,
107 current price.
net proceeds. So cost of preferred stock is so simple, right?
Percentage. But net proceedings. Net proceedings will be 107, right?
107 and minus 1.5 rotation cost.
That was, but they're not, 107.
Suppose take this way, like you are having the stock of this company for 27. Number 7, right? So existing preferred stock has worth of 7, right? And if the same company issues a new stock with the par of 107, but remember par 100, I think, for with this, suppose think this way, if they sell one more time, the par say this, sorry, if at this point they again sell the $100 par value stock with 12% dividend rate, it will sell in the market to sell back. But when they sell it, they'll get 107, par value is 100, right? But it will sell for 107 because they're paying 12%, right? So they can sell for 107, but out of this, they will have to pay 1.5 as production cost. Net proceeds will give you 107 minus 1.5, right? Now that means we are saying, pay attention here, we are saying if they sell this $100 par value and 12% stock, it will sell for 100, right? Now we are saying, given this thing, if they go for a new stock with the par value of $100, how much interest they should pay on that, or how much dividend rate on the $100 par value, which will sell for 100 in the market, which will sell at par. So that's here. 12 divided by the net proceeds from the existing lot, and we get 0.1137 or 11.37%. Again, remember the rule of pay attention in last class when you talked about, did we talk about the relation between the market interest rate or yield to maturity and the price of the bonds? It will be, you know. And yield to maturity. Relationship between the existing market interest rate and the.
Yes.
But discount.
Because if the market rate is high, then the coupon rate.
Okay, same thing applies here. You can see here, if you see here, because this particular share is selling at par, at premium, right? So that means cost has to be less than the dividend rate. Nothing otherwise also, for example, if you have selling at discount for say less than 100, then the discount rate should be more than 12%. Same will applies. All right. I hope it's all right. Okay.
Yes.
Yes, Mr. Okay. All right, common stock.
Hello, doctor, can you hear me?
Yes, please go ahead. Yes, go ahead. Ahmed, I cannot hear you. Someone muted the whole thing. That's also possible. Never know. Maybe me myself. Who's mine or his? No, it's okay. Mine is okay, right?
Hello, can you hear me, doctor?
Yeah. Yes, now I can hear you. Go ahead.
Oh, yeah, sorry about that. Actually, so now with the previous problem, we found out that the cost of preferred stock is like 11.3%.
Yes,
So what
37%.
actually does, yeah, what actually does that mean? Like for the
That
company
reflects
or
basically,
for the
okay, that
investor?
means if this company, same company, company X, would like to sell a new preferred stock right now, floated in the market with the par value of $100, then they will have to pay 11.37% as dividend on that preferred stock, not 12%.
Okay, so they will pay less dividends.
Obviously, because the value
the
of
12.
the $100 par value stock is 107, right? So this increase in price means the company is more valuable. So that means because the preferred stock is selling at premium, so the new dividend rate has to be less than the existing dividend rate.
Okay. So if it was selling for less than 100, then they will have to pay more dividends.
More than 12. Suppose you can do it. So take example. Suppose assume it is selling for $92, and you will see you will have the preferred dividend, preferred rate, cost of preferred stock that will be more than 12% for sure.
Okay. Now I understand. Thank you very much.
Okay,
Sorry.
that's cool. You can ask question anytime. You are more than welcome.
Thank you.
All right, now common stock. Common stock is more like the equities securities, right? And then this equity securities, basically what you mean by that? Equity securities means common stock is equity, right? Equity security. So what does it mean? Yes, Amrita, Akash, Austin, Jay.
It means maybe like the ownership of the company.
Yes. Common stock equity is about the ownership, right? The shares, which are more like say, give you ownership. If you buy them, you get ownership of the company. Depending upon the percentage of the shares that are outstanding, you are holding. For example, if you hold 1% of the shares of a company, you are owning 1% of the company. Right? Now, again, in this case also, we have to find the cost of equity. The problem with the equity is, remember, in case of, you have to keep in mind, if you look at the typical, this was more like the part of an assignment, you have learned this thing, how to get this, the cost of the equity. See, in case of debt, we know cost is interest rate, right?
In case of preferred stock, we know the cost dividend rate. But what is the cost in case of the common stock? And if you look at the statements, when you make the income statement and other things, you will see there, they will show always interest paid, right? That's part of the entry in the income statement, right? And also you will see that if they are having a preferred stock, they will state there how much was the preferred dividend paid to the people. They will also say the dividend paid to the common stockholders. But remember, dividend paid to common stockholders is not the cost of equity. You must not make this mistake. Dividends paid is not cost of equity. That is simply the portion of the earnings that you have in the company. You got that. It's not cost, right? Cost is different than that. So how are you going to find the cost of common stock? That's what we're going to discuss now here. Now, one more thing about the common stock is, remember we say about new more money, right? New suppose additional funds from the market. Earlier, when you issue the bonds, how much you have to pay as the dividend, sorry, as coupon for that. Second one, if you want to issue the preferred stock right now, how much you have to pay on that will be the cost of preferred stock, right? Now, in this case, we have two sources of getting new or additional equity. One is retained earnings, right? Second one, we introduce new common stock. Retained earnings, you know that, right? Yes, no. You know. Now, new issue of common stock. Now, remember, we have been talking about the flotation cost, right? Flotation cost. Okay, in case of the equity, what do you think about the use of flotation cost?
Yes, I think the cost of common equity is the flotation cost, like how much you have to pay to make it the company public, or to be able for the investors to purchase your stock, no?
But that's just part of, I think that's flotation cost, right? Now, the question is, now pay attention, Ahmed, focus a little bit. Here are our sources of common stock, right? First thing first, how are you going to use the flotation cost when you're going to find the cost of equity, right? When we are use the earnings, when we use the commons, then you show the commons. This is first thing, right? So on that, I want your thoughts about this one. Relevance of flotation cost to retained earnings and new issues. Again, I repeat, relevance of the flotation cost to the retained earnings and the new issue of common stock. Can try, right? I don't want to be sure about it. You can just try it. Are people online all except Ahmed sleeping or what? Or playing the games on their mobiles? Speak up a little loud, yes. Or there is for sure, but not always. Oh, come on, guys, think. It's very simple. Retained earning is what?
The profits that you keep.
Amount of income that you pay, right? So do you float it? You sell it in the market. So what's flotation cost here? Right? But obviously in this case, it's going to be some amount, right? Suppose some X amounts, some dollars here. This is the first thing that people want. Let's move on how we can find the cost of common stock. All right, now, before we go to the computation, let me say we are going to use two methods for finding the cost of common stock, right? Two methods. Number one, Gordon growth model, or it's also called
We also call it constant growth model. It's very important thing you keep in mind. Basically, when we say constant growth model, technically we believe or we assume that the company has already reached its maturity phase. It is growing at a constant rate. Suppose same growth rate, 5%, 6%, whatever. That will be around the expected growth of the GDP of the economy. Constant growth, right? Growth rate of the company is expected to remain constant over time, or what we call over foreseeable future, right? This one. And the second one is our favorite one, what we call the capital asset pricing model, or yeah. Right. Now, if you look at these two models here, this capital is solely or exclusively for finding the rate of return. Exclusive of this. But when you look at the GGM model is basically not a model that we use for finding the discount rates or the required rate of the common stock. This is basically a valuation model. Valuation model is supposed at any point of time, if you want to see what should be the price of the common stock of a company. So we use GGM for those companies which are at the maturity phase of their life cycle. Remember, if you think of the life cycle of a company, when they are here in this phase, maturity phase, here we apply the GGM model. Right, Gordon growth. It's after the name of the person who gave this model, Gordon, and it's called the Gordon growth model or constant. Right now, here, first of all, as I said, it is more like about the expected, or we can say the value of the company. You can say P0 is equal to D1 divided by RS minus G. Right? So here, pay attention here. I told you earlier that the common stock and the preferred stock have one common feature, infinite life, right? That you can see here. It says non-supervised valuation model assumes that the value of share of equals the present value of all future dividends assumed to grow at a constant rate. Basically, we call it constant, what we call as a growing perpetuity. That is expected to provide what infinite time horizon. Right. So you can see here, it is P0 is equal to D1 divided by RS minus G. And you can see P0 is the value of common stock today right now. D1 is basically the dividends expected 1 year from now. For 1 period from 1 year from now, approximate dividend that we take here, D1. Then R is the required rate of common stock and G is the constant growth rate in dividends. Okay. Now understand the value first, then we can go to the same we can apply to the finding the cost of common stock. Let's take the problem here. Let's assume same company X. Okay, the same company, right? Say company X recently paid, say $1.5 as dividends per share of its common stock. We say the earnings and dividends of the company are expected to grow at a constant rate of 6% for foreseeable future. If the required rate of return is 14%, what should be the price per share of company X's common stock? Apply this formula to get the price of stock. Start with that. We start with the valuation, then we go for the use the same model for finding the cost of equity or cost of common stock. How did you get that?
40 minus
Hmm?
1.5 divided by 40 minus 6.
It's 18.75, Doctor.
What did you get?
18 minus.
All of you? How about others?
I got 18.75.
Okay, same thing. Akash, Amrita, Fauzal, and Jay, they got the same number. I don't know about the remaining people on the online thing. Because they prefer to be on the mute mode, right? Well, guys, sorry to say that's not correct. It's wrong. Oh, yeah, that's wrong. Now, can you figure out what's the problem? Or what went wrong in your calculation? Yes. So what is given in your case here is recently paid D0 is 1.5, G is 6%, your R is 14%. So you have to find D1, right? So remember D1 is equal to D0 into 1 plus G. That's 1.5 into 1.06.
Yeah, we did this last time. We did this last semester.
Really? Why?
The doctor assignment. No, the doctor includes.
Yeah.
We have to find something R and D.
Yes. Okay. What happens, right? Now our D0 will be 1.59 divided by 0.14 minus 0.06. That's 1.59 divided by 0.08. 19.875 or 19.88 should be the price per share. That's good, right? Well, now, remember what we have to look for to find the, we are supposed to find P, right? That means for our calculations here to find the cost of capital, we must know the current market price of the shares, right? If we suppose we know D1, we know G, we know P0, we can find RS, right? So how do you find it? Readjust or arrange the formula. Here is what you get. Rn. Rn. No.
Where is beta in this? This is region formula. Rearrange this one. Come on, Amrita, we got the same thing here. Okay, let's first try to find the RS. And then we go to next one. Where it says Rn. Rs will be equal to P1 divided by P0 plus G. Okay. And this part here, this is what we call dividend yield. All right. Okay, now let's move next slide and see what is different here. RS is given here, right? And here is the formula for the cost of common stock. And you see some difference here, right? It's not same. Formula is different, right? And what is different here? What is different here?
Growth rate.
Net proceeds, right? Net proceeds and the current model. Now go back to two sources of, it's very important. Go back to two sources of the common stock, right? And you can see which formula are going to apply where. So there can be a trap sometimes. You'll be given information where you will not have to use all the information to find answers. Again, if you have to think this way, if you have, we have two sources of common stock, right? We have the retained earnings and the new issue. Do you think that these two formulas are, first of all, do you think that we can apply these two formulas separately, or we have the same formula for both common stock, equity, new issues, and the retained earnings? You understand the question or not?
Yeah, maybe we have to make it together, yeah?
Basically, this one will be for the retained earnings, right? And this one is for new issue. Again, remember, net proceeds will be equal to T0 minus flotation cost, right? Now, if flotation cost is 0, then net proceeds will be equal to P0, right? That's why we use P0 here in this case for the retained earnings. But in case of the new issue, we will have to use the N net proceeds from the issue of the new security. That's the N subscript is for the new issues, and S is for the retained earnings. You can see here, oh, it's important. Say here indicates that the cost of common stock equity can be found by dividing the dividends expected at the end of the year, one by the current market price of the stock, that is called dividend yield, and adding the expected growth rate, the capital gain here. Two things, capital gains, or I forgot to write this one. This one, G, is more like about the capital gains, but not necessarily always capital gains, but it's just what you're assuming. But I will agree 100% with this one. It cannot be necessarily capital gains. It can be just growth rate of the common stock. Okay, here's the problem. Please solve this one. Everybody, please solve this problem. Try to find the solution. You have to assume that 2012 is today, 2024.
all the information about energy.
And please try to solve. Make mistakes, no problem, that's fine. Also, you keep on doing mistakes from the previous semester. You should always first write, take information from here that you need to know. You just go to the difficult something, how can you do that? First, enter information, what we need for the problem, okay, let everyone know for you. So remember we have, if you have RS is equal to D1 divided by R minus cosine. Divided by D0 plus G. So Rn, then D1 divided by the net proceeds plus.
Okay, that's fine. Thank you. 4 minutes.
1 minus 2.8.
How many do you want?
One is post dividend against the division. It's V1.
This is the energy, like the machine.
The formula I mentioned. V1 minus this one. Yeah, that's what we're so.
But why would I bring 1.5? That's the question.
And the source is not something. Yeah. I mean, it is formula.
Okay, let's say 4.3.
3.8 from last year.
But what I've seen is 4.
Expected.
Oh, okay. Okay, great. Amazing, makes sense. Thank you, John.
How about you guys?
It's either 0.28 or 0.0.
And how we get stuff with development. How we get the cost.
It's 20%.
How
That's
where is the cost?
and the growth is 20%.
Ah.
Because the dividend is probably $4.
Yeah, that is how long the energy is. Ah. Good job, Akash.
All right, anyone online, Ahmed, others?
I'm actually stuck with R, like how to get R.
How is there D1 divided by P0 plus G or D1 divided by NN plus G?
Yeah,
One of the
but-
two options that you have to use.
Yeah, but I cannot see the formula here on my screen, so that's why.
You cannot see it?
No.
So where's the book, the formula?
Presentation.
Formula.
Oh, the formula is. It's only this.
You are supposed to tell me what is this person was. Oh, come on. Okay, let me write the formula. This thing is visible, right?
I'm not with that specific.
Only the. Ah. Formula is RS D1 divided by P0 plus G, or RN is D1 divided by net proceeds plus G.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Still, there's already enough time for this, right? Let's see the problem. It says that the price, market prices. See, now they give also already there. They say find RS, right? Not RN. So, say here, let's say P0 is $50, right? Anything on the flotation cost? Nothing, right? D1, $4. Now remember, with P0, there's no flotation cost, we are not going to go for this thing, we are going to stick this formula, right? So D1 we know, P0 we know, we had to find G, right? How can you find the G? Remember, we said last time D1 is equal to D0 into 1 plus G. And as I said, this is as of now. So this thing here, the dividend of 2012 is D0, the current dividends. So we can say here D1 is $8, D0 is $3.8. Then we can say, and we can find the G, right? So we can 1 plus G is equal to, I will just write here, 4 divided by 3.8, right? Or G is equal to simply 4 divided by 3.8 by 2. Okay. And how much is that? 0.0526, right? Or 4.526%. And now G is given, right? Now we know D1, we know P0, we know G, so we can find Rs. So Rs will be equal to 4 divided by 50 plus 0.0526. 0.08, right? This one will be, this portion is equal to 0.08 plus 0.0526 will be equal to 0.1326, right? Or 13.26%, right? All right, so this one thing. But I would have been happy if they had given me a D0, not D1. This section should have been nothing, no information, nothing. Now fine, price is 0 and fine. Saying the question would have been interesting if they had said, they had not mentioned anything about the dividends. Just left it blank, that's it. So, we can find the G from here, right? So go to dividends, right? You can think of this and suppose take this single D0, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So technically for this portion, we have D5 is equal to 3.80 and D0 is equal to 4.97, N is equal to 5. Then we can find the growth rate, right? And how much will be that? That's going to be, remember, our growth will be D5 divided by D0 minus 1. No, sorry. Take the fifth root minus 1. Right. Now try using the 5%, the same thing also. Say 3.8 divided by 2.97 raised power 0.2 minus 1. You should get 5%. Check it. 0.05. These things make questions more interesting, right? They make us think. Be smarter, right? So you should expect questions without listening in the exam, right? Only this information is given, nothing like this. Now find the cost of it. Okay, here's solution for this problem. There's no need to do it because if you are given D0 and D1, we can find the G anyway, right? That's why it's kind of a stupid to give the first solution and then give the data marks. Any questions here or any doubts? Or everything is fine or nothing is fine? That's good. Oh, for sure, yes. Okay, let's take a break here.